Hi everyone and welcome to another Doctor Who figure review by me, Max Shots, and as you can see today I'm going to be reviewing, it's another figure from Wave 2 of the Series 6 figure line, and as you can see it is the Ganger 11th Doctor as we saw him at the end of the Rebel Flesh and the start of the Almost People. Now this is the standard Wave 2A version, which is a normal figure. There is another version from Wave 2B and Wave 2C which features a stretchy head and stretchy hands. I'm still yet to come across that version of the figure, but this is just the normal version really, which just has a normal head and normal hands. It does come with the same accessories though, which are a sonic screwdriver, flesh mask and flesh sachet. I'll be talking about them later on in the video, but first of all we're going to quickly go through the packaging this figure came in, and then we shall take a closer look at this very creepy 11th Doctor figure. Okay, so if we take a look at the front, we can see it is as normal for Series 6 figure packaging. Series 6 Wave 2 packaging. You've got the figure in the middle with its accessories in the plastic bubble, along with the card at the bottom showing the Doctor Who logo and also the name of the figure. And at the top it tells you a little bit of information about the figure and the flesh accessories it comes with. And on the back it shows you the rest of the figures available in this assortment, including this one, and then there's the usual product and company information at the bottom. Okay, so that's it for the packaging. Now we should take a look at the scariest 11th Doctor figure yet. Okay, so here we have the Ganger 11th Doctor from the end of the Rebel Flesh and also the Almost People. Now this figure is very similar to the standard Wave 2 11th Doctor figure because it does actually use the same body. It has the exact same clothing and it is pretty much all just made out of the same sculpt, but the head, hands and boots have been changed, making this figure different to the standard version of the 11th Doctor figure. Okay, so as usual we shall now go into the detail paintwork and sculpting of this excellent figure. Okay, so as usual we shall start by taking a look at this 11th Doctor figure's head sculpt. Now this is a completely new head sculpt. The hairstyle is different to that of the standard 11th Doctor figure from this wave, and I must say this head sculpt up close looks really creepy. I mean, just look at that face. That isn't the 11th Doctor we love and know. That is a creepy undead version of the 11th Doctor, like a zombie Doctor. It just looks really creepy. I mean, that facial expression, it just looks so lifeless, and you got those eyes with the little pupils and the red edges, that red mouth, the lumps where the ears and nose should be, and it just makes it look so creepy yet brilliant at the same time, because it really does have a good likeness of the 11th Doctor's Ganger from how we saw him at the end of the Rebel Flesh and the start of the Almost People, because he wasn't really like this all the time when he was around on screen during the Rebel Flesh and the Almost People. So yeah, I think they've done a really good job of the face on this figure. They have actually used a different type of plastic for this Ganger figure. I'd say they've used the same plastic that they used for the original Master figure that we saw in 2007, and in my opinion this waxy kind of plastic really does work well for the Ganger figures. Really does make them look like they've got that slimy greasy skin, and it just helps to make them look even more realistic and creepy. And if we take a quick look at the hair on this 11th Doctor figure's head sculpt, we can see that it has been sculpted very nicely as usual, got a really nice realistic texture to it, and it has been painted with a nice dark brown colour. So if I was to sort of give a summary of my thoughts on this 11th Doctor figure's head sculpt, I'd say that I really like it. It looks absolutely brilliant from all angles, and it has a really good likeness of the 11th Doctor's Ganger. I do think it could have been a little bit better if the skin tone was a little bit more pale, so it would look a little more accurate, but it still looks absolutely brilliant up close and really creepy like it should do. And now we shall take a look at this 11th Doctor figure's outfit. Okay, so first of all we shall take a look at the clothing this Ganger 11th Doctor figure is wearing on his torso. Now this is exactly the same as that of the standard Wave 2 11th Doctor figure's torso clothing. You've got the dark brown tweed jacket, the light blue shirt, and also the dark blue bow tie. Again, I think the jacket is a brilliant feature of this figure, definitely one of my favourite parts of it. It's got really nice detail, that same brilliant usual tweed texture, the creases on various parts of it to make it look very accurate and lifelike, the two buttons towards the bottom there, the pockets on either side, the lapels, and also the dark brown elbow patches on the back. Don't think the jacket needs any improvements. Maybe it could be a little bit lighter to look a bit more accurate, but it still looks and feels absolutely fantastic. Definitely one of the best parts of this figure in terms of detail and sculpting. His light blue shirt is also very nice. It's a nice bright sky blue colour. We've also got the same usual detail, like the buttons going down the middle there, and the creases, and then the bow tie at the top. The shirt is also very good. Maybe if it was a little bit lighter it'd look a bit more accurate, but it still stands out very nicely with the rest of the outfit, and it looks great up close. The bow tie is very nice as well, made from the same usual 11th Doctor bow tie sculpt. It's got some creases in it, making it look very lifelike, and it is glued onto the shirt, so you don't really need to worry about it falling off. Now the trousers of the Ganger 11th Doctor figure are the same as that of the standard Wave 2 11th Doctor figure. They're just black with the same usual detail, like the pockets on the back and the creases going all the way down them, helping to make them look very nice and lifelike. Then at the bottom you've got the shoes, which are also made from the same sculpt. As you can see, for the Ganger 11th Doctor figure, they are brown instead of black, because the normal 11th Doctor wore black shoes in the Almost People, as the Ganger 11th Doctor wore brown shoes. They look really nice up close. I really like the fact that on the Ganger 11th Doctor figure they are brown, because they stand out from the trousers a lot more easily, and they've got the same usual detail and sculpting, like the laces and the various patterns going along the bottom. Okay, so that is pretty much all the basic detail of the Ganger 11th Doctor figure. It's got pretty much all the same detail as the standard 11th Doctor figure from this wave, seeing as they were made from the same sculpt. I think the paintwork on this figure is absolutely brilliant, especially on the facial features, which look really creepy up close. The clothes have been painted really nicely and carefully as well, and they are all very highly detailed, and the sculpting for this figure is absolutely brilliant as well. I like the fact that they use the same sculpt for this figure as the standard 11th Doctor figure from this wave, because they didn't really need to make a new one for this figure. I think the Ganger features of this figure are also absolutely brilliant. I really like the fact that they are made from a different plastic to the plastic of the standard 11th Doctor figure from this wave, because this waxy kind of plastic really does work well in making the Ganger features of this Ganger 11th Doctor figure look realistic and also very lifelike. Okay, so now we shall go into the articulation of this figure, and then I shall gather a summary of my thoughts on this 11th Doctor figure. Now, seeing as this Ganger 11th Doctor figure has been made from the same sculpt as the standard Wave 2 11th Doctor figure, the articulation remains exactly the same, which is still absolutely fantastic. Pretty much standard 11th Doctor figure articulation, but obviously with the new ball jointed shoulders, which I absolutely love, and I hope that we see these ball jointed shoulders on many more Doctor Who figures in the future, because then we can put the Doctor figures into lots of battling and regeneration poses, like how I've got him here. So the articulation on this figure is absolutely brilliant. With the ball jointed shoulders, he has a bit more articulation than the Series 5 11th Doctor figures, and I don't have any problems with the articulation on my one, so it's all good. And now I'm going to give you a summary of my thoughts on this Ganger 11th Doctor. So overall, I think the Ganger 11th Doctor figure is a really nice variant to my 11th Doctor figure collection. It's definitely our creepiest 11th Doctor figure yet, with those scary Ganger features. Again, the detail and paintwork on this figure is absolutely superb, and the articulation is very good as usual as well. Really like the fact that also a new plastic has been used for this Ganger 11th Doctor figure, and I hope that if we see any more Ganger figures from the Rebel Flesh and Almost People, that this plastic is used for them as well, because it works really well, and it helps to make the Ganger figures look even more scary and lifelike. So if I was to give the Ganger 11th Doctor figure a rating out of 10, I'd say I'd give him a 9 out of 10. He's an absolutely brilliant figure. Again, the detail, paintwork and articulation are all absolutely superb features of this figure, but I do think he could have been better if the jacket was more of a lighter brown like it was in the episodes, and maybe if the light blue shirt was sort of more of a whitish blue colour. And also I think the right hand on this 11th Doctor figure could have been sculpted a bit better, because I've had a lot of trouble trying to get this Ganger figure to hold the sonic screwdriver that it comes with. So if the right hand sculpt was more like that of the previous 11th Doctor right hand sculpt we've seen, it would be a lot better for holding the sonic screwdriver. But those tiny dislikes about this figure don't make me think that this is a bad figure at all. In fact, it is a figure that I'd highly recommend to anyone out there at the moment that is currently collecting Doctor Who Series 6 figures, and since Halloween is just around the corner, I think this will make an absolutely great gift for a Doctor Who fan that you know, because it will just be great to have a scary version of the 11th Doctor for Halloween. And don't forget, there is also a version of this figure with a stretchy head and stretchy hands. I do not yet have that version of this figure, but I did see Blue Brick TARDIS's review of it, and it does actually look like a good variant, and I may consider buying it and possibly reviewing it. But I still do really like this version of the Ganger 11th Doctor figure, and once again I think it is a really nice addition to the collection. And that's pretty much all I have to say for the Ganger 11th Doctor figure, and now we should take a look at his accessories. Okay, so first of all we shall take a look at the sonic screwdriver that the Ganger 11th Doctor figure comes with. Now, as I said before, the right hand on this Ganger 11th Doctor figure isn't really good at holding the sonic screwdriver, so when putting it into his hand you have to be really careful not to make it drop on the floor, and then you might lose it. But if we take a look at the sonic screwdriver itself, we can see there is a really nice accessory. It's got brilliant detail, and the paintwork on it is absolutely superb, especially with it being such a small accessory. Again, I do think it could have been better if it was a closed version, because we haven't yet seen a closed version of the sonic screwdriver with the 5-inch figure line. But it still is a very nice accessory, and if I was to give it a rating out of 10, I'd give it a 9 out of 10, and if I was to give it a rating out of 5, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. Okay, so that's it for the sonic screwdriver. Now I shall take a quick look at his flesh mask and then the flesh sachet. Okay, so here we have the flesh mask that this Ganger 11th Doctor figure comes with. Now, since this 11th Doctor figure is in fact a Ganger 11th Doctor figure, he doesn't really need a Ganger mask, but this would make a good spare for the standard 11th Doctor figure from this wave, just in case you lose the flesh mask that one comes with. It doesn't really fit onto the Ganger 11th Doctor figure that well either, but it still is a nice accessory. It's got a good likeness of Matt Smith, and it does fit onto the other 11th Doctor figure from this wave very nicely. If I was to give this 11th Doctor figure's flesh mask a rating out of 5, I'd say I'd give it a 4.9 out of 5. It's a great accessory, but I think that for this Ganger 11th Doctor figure it could have been sculpted a bit differently so it could fit onto his face a little bit more easily. But it still is a really nice accessory, and you can use it on pretty much any 11th Doctor figure that has the right face sculpt for it. And now we shall take a look at the flesh sachet. Okay, so here we have the flesh sachet that the Ganger 11th Doctor figure comes with, and also the flesh sachet that comes with every Wave 2 figure from the Series 6 line. As I said before, it's a great accessory, really good for play purposes, and also brilliant for scene recreations of the rubber flesh that almost people, and also a good man goes to war if you want to recreate that scene where Amy's baby Melody dissolves into flesh. But if using it around figures, like I said in my standard Wave 2 11th Doctor figure review, I suggest not using it around the figures too much, because the material itself is quite sticky and it could get stuck to the figures very easily. But as I've just said, it's a great accessory, and if I was to give it a rating out of 5, I'd give it a 5 out of 5. Okay, so that's it for the flesh sachet, and now it's time to bring this review to an end. Okay, so that is pretty much all I have to say for my review of the Ganger 11th Doctor figure. Once again, I think this is a very nice variant for your 11th Doctor figure collection, and it is definitely by far our creepiest 11th Doctor figure yet. And don't forget, there is also a version with a stretchy head and stretchy hands. Don't have that one yet, but if you would like to see me buy and review that, please let me know in the comment section below, because I'm not quite sure whether I should buy that one yet, because it is quite an interesting variant. It's the first Doctor Who figure that has stretchy features, and that makes it quite interesting. So yeah, if you want me to buy that figure, or if you just recommend it to me, let me know in the comment section below, and I might do a little review of that. Obviously it won't be a very long review, but if you want me to review it and I do get it, then I will. But yeah, I'm not sure what my next review is going to be at the moment. I'm hoping to do a few more before Halloween, because I have got quite a bit of free time at the moment, so I might as well use that for some good old Doctor Who figure reviewing time. Might actually do a Optimus Prime figure review as well from Transformers, because as some of you may know, the recent Doctor Who Adventures magazine came with a free Optimus Prime Creon figure, and I'm thinking of reviewing that sometime in the next few days. I've also got quite a few character building figures that I need to review from Series 2, so I will hopefully do some more of them in the coming weeks. But if you really want to know what my next review is going to be, please check out my comment section on my channel, because I usually update that once every few days about what's going on with my upcoming videos and stuff like that. But yeah, that's enough of me rambling on. Thanks for watching, YouTubers, and I shall see you again soon. But what do you think about this figure? Let me know about your comments about this figure in the comment section below. And if you reviewed this figure already, please send it to me as a video response if you want. Thanks for watching, YouTubers, and I shall see you again soon. And also, Happy Halloween. Mwahaha.